50s, and this is the GixR Cup, an event that we've enjoyed, and Jacob Stroud's come up. He's still in his leathers and even boots for that matter, ready to watch his younger brother Jesse, who we had on board here before with us. So great to see the GixR. So effectively race control, they've all got the Mead Speed titanium exhaust system. That's about the only thing that's not standard on them. The fairings are all taken to race, and as we can see, when they've got their fabulous Alpine Star Bell helmets full kit on them, as all the riders are given as part of the GixRs, we can see them get away to a great start through there. And just looking to see, there's we can pick up Zachy as those slightly brighter letters. He's back there in about third place. Jesse, we'll look for him with a smaller statute in there. He's gone for the first place already. And looking to two will probably be Clark Fountain, because Clark had a very good practice talking about the West Coast Warrior here earlier today, and the man goes to practice on the local little Greymouth kart track, where of course it's got that small profile. And there we go, there goes Clark trying to squeeze his way past. You know, when you're watching racing like this, that it gets down to being tight battles, and that's what this slipstream is. I think he pulled out far too early there for my money, and if Jesse would have only been probably well to have quickly as he moves across to see whether he can take a place, and that may already be Zach. Is it Zach that's come off the best of them? I think might have been Zach through there. And we've got Jacob nodding his head at the moment. Any of those same three guys, they go so well, don't they, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a lottery when you start on the straight. You don't really know where you're going to end up. I saw Shane Miller go all the way from fourth to second there, and Jesse from first to fourth, so you never know really what's going to happen.
Yeah, it is great to see indeed, so keen to watch out for this one. So here it is, courtesy of Ctas Washdike and King Street right here in Timaru. So check it out, Ctas, proud to be the servo of choice behind the South Canterbury Motorcycle Club, your host over this weekend. South Canterbury Club, one of New Zealand's greatest clubs. I remember the year they did New Zealand Supercross, New Zealand Junior Motocross, New Zealand Senior Motocross, and New Zealand Road Race, and no club, I believe, has ever attained that feat. They're a fantastic club, and in fact in 2018 they did the New Zealand Veterans and Women's Championships, and one of the better championships we've seen. In fact, probably from a media point of view, the best event we've ever seen, because we had TV coverage, and that all of course came about as a complete coincidence, because some lady called Pink was doing one of them to go down on the outside there, was doing a concert in Dunedin just down the road, and her husband, of course, Kerry Hart, the first man to do a backflip on a motocross bike, was in town as well. So he said, well, hey, I want to go to a motocross. I hear there's one going on, and man, did that ever attain some media interest. But still more importantly, the South Canterbury Club running an amazing event this year. And one of our riders down, but I tell you what, he's got back on his bike. That was a nice place down the short straight there after turn 2 to whiz off into the grass. He spun around a little bit. He's now getting back on the bike, and hopefully he's been able to make his way and get off the track. So nice to see. Our GixR Cup 150 presented by Ctas Washdike and King Street.
Yeah, looking at the advantage into the McKissick curve, it is Zach Fuller, Clark Fountain, and then Justin Maunder is up ahead of Jesse Stroud. So they're having a good little battle heading into the right-hander. We see it on the Ctas live picture because it goes out of sight in our commentary position, but out of the hairpin. Zach Fuller didn't qualify all that well. He was 4.5 seconds off the pace in qualifying on a really wet track, first session out on the wet track. So Zach Fuller now with the dry track is under control in this one, looking to break free. He heads into the bus stop with about an 8 bike length advantage from the 3 of Clark Fountain, then the 17 Justin Maunder, and 15 Jesse Stroud. Right over the back of him there as they head into turn 1 and 2 with looks to be Shane Miller in 6th place, with Curtis Boyd, Hamish Simpson, Liam Whelans and Michael Dowman making out the top 10 in the GixR Cup.
All right, so Zach Fuller had to talk to his father Mark during the lunch break and said, mate, what's it feel like, because you're down here in tomorrow's a round of the famous Bellray Cross Country Series, an event that both Zach and Mark, and particularly Mark, has ridden for many, many years, and a bit of a sacrifice to pay. That's also where Brad Groombridge might have otherwise been. They are 2 New Zealand off-road racing men at fast pace, and here they are. In Brad's case, of course, he's riding, but in the case of Mark, his son, Zach, doing so well here on the Mahoe Land Company supported Kiwi Rider magazine, sponsored GixR 150. So good work by Zach as he's got the advantage. Clark up in there, Justin, Jesse. Oh, Caleb's starting to make a move, and a big smile on Jacob's face. What's it going to be like when the moment Jacob puts his wheel past Jesse? Jesse's going to throw the towel, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. We're all of us, all 3 boys, all training together and racing scooters and mopeds and all battling. We're all sort of the same speed, so it's good to see Caleb sort of getting up to the speed that we are, and he could almost feel Jesse soon. Jesse is going to just think, he thinks he's the top GixR guy, but you know, Caleb's coming along, and you know, it might be a different story.
Oh man, this will be, I want to be around the Stroud family table when this battle's going on, because for Jesse, typical of a little guy, not that any of you are necessarily all that big, but Jesse, of the little guy, he makes a lot of noise for a little guy, and all of a sudden he's going to have somebody out noise him, literally.
Yeah, no, they're having a great battle out there. Jesse into second now and Caleb into fifth. So Caleb's just getting better and better every time he gets on the bike. I think it's his third ever race, so the more time he spends on the bike is the more he's going to... he's just run off the track. But no, he's having a great race up to it then. Yeah.
Well, that's how he's going to get better. He's going to look at that. Oh, what a recovery. What a recovery. He's done that on the wet grass. And let's face it, that's had 12 hours worth of rain plus out there, Jacob. And he's brought it back on the track. That's some real skill.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys have got off today. I don't think many of them come back on, but that's the thing with GixR Cup racing. I think last weekend it was Zach Fuller was up on the back straight and just stayed on the grass because there was more room there, he said, and kept it pinned, and I think he passed somebody as well. So, these GixR Cup boys, they're a little bit insane, just like sidecar swingers,
Oh, right. Oh, wow. That's putting it out there. You heard it from Jacob Stroud. Wasn't from me, that one. As we go, Brad, this Stroud family table must be a huge amount of fun, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable, really. Yeah, brilliant. And to see Caleb already on the pace, unfortunately just run off, but unbelievable. But just on another note, Jesse Stroud, a 1:26.361 in an overcast track. That is an unofficial lap record. I've got my lap record from Tarbin Walker here last year at a 1:26.8. So that is
cool.
Half a second inside lap record pace with the conditions far from favourable. So we'll watch that lap record fly at the moment. Here we go.
All right, great to watch it out. Here we go. White flag. It's one to go. Look at that. Nothing into the moment. Jesse all the way. Jesse over Zach. Good to see. And Jacob had picked it up. You heard it when he called it. He was way back in 4th and 5th place at one stage with brother Caleb there ready to make the pounce as well. So it is the Jesse advantage, and he's got it. But as we know with Zach, take the Suzuki round at Manfield. When the white flag went out, Zach Fuller was in the lead, and by the time they got to Higgins, if you know the Manfield circuit, he was already in 5th place. That's how they were all over each other. The best 150 race we've ever seen, Manfield in round 2 of the Suzuki series. And you don't want to be in Jesse's position about now, because if Zach uses the slipstream from here, Jacob, he can hold him out.
They're both running really good races, and Zach's gone around the outside on the last lap, running at end of the straight, so the slipstream really working in his favour, and I think Jesse's just overcooked it, trying to catch up too much, and there's a massive gap between the two of them now. All
right, so there you go. Well being picked up here. In fact, folks, what you're not feeling is the atmosphere here in the commentary box. We just love having these other riders around us here. We've had the likes of Chopper Frost in here. We've had Toby Summers. As you know, we've had Brad Groombridge and had a few interviews with him. I've had Jacob up here now on 3 different occasions. Little Jesse is out on the race at the moment. He's been up here at the moment. We love to feel the atmosphere and know what it's like when these guys are normally out on the racetrack. So here we are with the last lap at the moment, and the run coming home. And look at that. I'll tell you what, it's not over, because as we've seen from Jacob Stroud himself, he's done some scintillating moves in the final run. Here we are coming down. Can Zach hold it? Can it be Jesse? Here comes Jesse looking for the power launch. Can he get there? Oh, look at that. Oh, there'll only be half a bike in it. There'll only be half a bike, and it is Zach Fuller to take it. The margin between them, the margin 0.050. There you go. So 51 thousandths of a second, 5/100ths, nothing in it. So there you go. Zach Fuller, Jesse Stroud from Clark Found, and go back to Justin Maunder in the 4th place ahead of Shane Miller back in there. Go to Curtis Boyd, Hamish Simpson, along with Liam Whelans. Even Jacob Stroud's recovered for a 9th place, even though he took a detour on the grass. Go to Michael Dowman, Luca Durning, Lucy Dowman, yes, Michael and Lucy, brother and sister, Sarah Humphrey that time, and then go back to Hunter Stoneman. So bad luck for Hunter. Not quite sure what happened for Hunter.
It was the one that had the off down the short chute out of turn 2 there. So that was our fallen rider.
Of course it was. Thank you for the reflection. On the Dibbon Swartz Motorcycles Momentum, Marshall Motorsport supported GixR 150 Hunter Stoneman Boyle from Wanganui. So the motorsport capital of New Zealand comes alive with more of our Wanganui riders that we've got in this class as well. So Zach, Jesse and Clark, a very good podium there, Brad, and at one stage all 3 of those riders had their nose in the lead.
Yeah, absolutely, and a full credit to Zach Fuller. He was leading as they crossed the line, and to lead across the line with the white flag and then to hold it for the win, that's definitely not something that's normally done with the GixR 150, so awesome stuff. Zach Fuller ahead of Jesse Stroud and Clark Fountain. So Clark actually caught up. There was only 0.8 of a second in that podium fight. So Clark Fountain, while those 2 at the front were dicing, managed to sneak up and close that gap. So we'll see what happens if he can get a little bit of a better start in the second one. So that was the 5-lapper for the GixR Cups, brought to you by Ctas Wash Dyke. We'll cross down to Neil in a minute. He's going to have the podium youngsters down there as we watch them coming into the dummy grid. Action aplenty, the GixR 150 class, brought to you by Ctas Wash Dyke. So we'll cross down now to Neil.
All right, an opportunity now to do our podium for the Suzuki GixR Cup, and all three of these guys had their nose in front at some point of the race out there, but Clark, the boys just pipping you at the end. What do you reckon you've got to do to get them back in the racing tomorrow?
I reckon I need to try harder in this top section because I'm really having trouble up here, but yeah, it's kind of a bit sad it's not raining again, you know, qualified first with that big 1 second lead, but yeah, just try harder in the top section.
Indeed, an opportunity to find the GixRs and into their own. You're preferring it when it was a little bit wetter. Now we've noticed as well as a little bit of a breeze up. Did you feel that it was a bit of a hindrance for you on the lesser powered bike?
Yeah, it's a bit annoying having that breeze, but coming from the west coast it rains a lot and I'm used to riding in the wet, but it was a bit disappointing, but still have to ride to the conditions and yeah, try my best.
Well done. So Clark Fountain getting that third place, and well, Jesse, as we say, when the white flag goes out, there's not many times if you're in the GixR Cup that you can still carry on to win it, because Zach got the slipstream of you, and it was forced to play follow on, but you managed to get yourself in front. Is there some learnings from that race for you?
Yeah, sort of like Ruapuna, but yeah, try work it out next race. Yep.
Right, from the 150 point of view, was that better than the practice qualifying session? Do you prefer it drier or wetter? And with that little bit of a breeze, was that harder? How was the track?
Well, the track was really slippery when it was wet. You know, I was nervous I was going to fall off, but I like the dry, so yeah.
It's better, and it's good to see. All right, taking an opportunity as well to congratulate Zach. What was the secret, Zach? You hadn't quite made the podium with a few of your recent motos, so good run and good to see you back on top.
I just got a good off to a good start and managed to get Jesse and Clark on the first lap, which was really good. And then Jesse came past and we had a bit of a good battle. And yeah, I got the slipstream this time and got it over him this time. So yeah, good race.
Well done, there we go. Great podium and thoroughly deserved, and thank you for having the GixR here on display with us, courtesy of Caltex, Washdyke and King Street, right here in Timaru. That's our Suzuki GixR Cup and the 150 racing.